Hey everyone, my name is Dennis, Senior Embedded Developer at DiGidot Technologies. And today I'm happy to walk you through our newest software release, which runs on all of our controllers, version 3.0. This is a major update with a complete overhaul on many areas, designed to get more creative, has new features, and makes your workflow even more efficient. Let's dive right in. First up, we have a refined user interface. We've rebuilt our core UX component from the ground up, giving you a sleeker, more intuitive experience while still keeping the easy-to-use philosophy. Think about less clicking and more creating. The interface can now be more customized in the settings. Options become more clear and the overall feel is just fresher. You'll find yourself spending less time configuring and more time bringing your creative vision into life. Now let's talk about expanding compatibility. In version 3, we added support for 8 new LED ICs. Each of these ICs brings its unique characteristics and follows our mission to be the most compatible LED controller on the market. Project organization is key, especially when you're dealing with complex setups. That's why we introduced a feature that's called port labels. This will allow you to change the cryptic designators like D1 or output D2 to a name of your choice. And I'm going to show to you how you can do that. If you go to the in-out configuration and you have your port D1 all the way to D4 over here, you can just click on this port, press the Add Port Label button, and then instantly you see this name appearing on your port. This simple feature will save you hours of troubleshooting. In projects, when you are dealing with long, lengthy scenes with a lot of universes, it can take quite some time to get them off the controllers. We've all been there, waiting for the scenes to finish downloading when you're trying to make a backup. And now in version 3, we can say goodbye to these waiting times, as we've added support for the File Transfer Protocol, in short, FTP. This will allow you to download the same scenes up to 8 times faster, and I'm going to show you how you can use it. If you go to Settings, Interface, you see a developer mode over here, which you can enable with the press of a button. And then if you go one step back, and then you see a new button, it's called Debug Environment. If you click on that, you can see over here, Enable FTP Access, which I can enable with the click of a button again. And then I can restart the device to apply these changes. And then you can use a program, for example, FileZilla, to connect to the controller with the help of FTP. A lot of pixels or channels is awesome for your project, but sometimes fine-grained control is required for creating stunning lighting effects. The new Fader tool allows you to do that. Control each channel or a group of channels individually with our intuitive fader, as you can see over here. You can change the universe in this top part and change the channel in this bottom part. And it's possible to change individual channels, as you can see right here, or you can create it like a group. For example, I want to have every third channel to be changed, or maybe like even a whole group of channels to be instantly changed with just one fader. Want to tweak the intensity of a single light? No problem. Need to adjust the intensity of multiple fixtures at the same time? Easy. The fader tool offers precision and flexibility. Let's talk logic now. In version 3, we expand your trigger capabilities. Before, you were restricted to only use the AND operator if you want to combine multiple inputs. Now, if you open the trigger menu and you want to add a secondary or maybe a third input, you have the option to also use the OR operator. So if you combine multiple inputs, you are free to choose either the AND or the OR operator, and you can even invert the type of input if you want to invert the behavior. Imagine light triggering based on multiple conditions or inverting trigger values for more unique effects. How many times haven't you created the standard scenes, like red, green, blue, for a project or for a test? With version 3, we introduce a one-click solution to generate a default color set. Whenever you have RGB or RGBW connected, it will generate a set of default scenes, easy for you to quickly get going. and I will show you how you can do that. If you go to Create Scenes, Generate Scene, and then choose the default color palette option over here, and finally click Generate, it will generate the default colors as red, blue, green, magenta, yellow, orange, and lime. Now the default scenes has been generated, and it has generated 7 default colors: red, blue, green, magenta, yellow, orange, lime, and full white or RGB white. If you're using RGBW, it will also add the white only channel and the full white with all the 4 channels on maximum brightness. This will save quite some time for initial setups and tests and can get you up and running in no time. Nobody likes waiting for their equipment to boot up. So that's why we significantly reduced the startup time of the extended by 40% from 5 to just 3 seconds. So you will be up and running in no time. Independent, standalone operation was always a main goal for our extended controller lineup. Take for example our time and date triggering. For controllers, which have been purchased after June 2024, we've improved the clock accuracy. These new controllers, instead of like a 30 minutes drift each year, they now only drift 1 minute each year. And this will make sure that your shows will stay perfectly in sync, ensuring a flawless triggering every time. In every situation, you want to have the maximum performance for your project to ensure your creations are running smoothly. In version 3, we integrated a performance assistant directly in the IOconfig page. When configuring your LEDs, you can see that the top number maximum output is changing every time that you perform a change on your configuration, and this will allow you to properly have an indication of what kind of performance you can expect with this kind of setup. Quick resuming operation in an uneventful situation is crucial. We've added a new replay action which allows you to play the last playing scene or playlist before a power loss. When you try to create a trigger, you can now choose from the actions over here. You can say replay last scene or playlist. Then, if you want, you can also play the last scene which was playing if there was a playlist active. Then I can save this. And now it makes sure that whatever it's playing, it will be resumed after a power loss. No more user interaction needed for the correct scene to seek through. Aren't you tired of those default RGB generated color scrolls that you see all of the time when you see a controller? We are. So that's why we thought, let's make some more creativity in the app by using a generating matching color palette, which you can use to generate random colors that are matching with each other that you can use in your scenes. Let me show you how you can use this new feature. You go to Create Scenes, Generate Scene, and over here you have a color scroll, and normally you can only add and remove colors, or change the colors of course, but now you have this new button that's called Generate Random Palette. If you click this button, you can see random colors are being generated on the bottom of the screen. If I press it again, you can see it's basically creating the colors every time I press the button. When I see a palette that I like, I can now choose this button, Preview, and after a few seconds, this will show the content of the scene already on the output, so you don't have to save the scene right away. If you're not fully satisfied with the result, you can change settings over here. For example, I want to remove the last color, increase the color width, and decrease the speed a bit. I can hit Preview again, and now my new changes will apply to the output after a few seconds. Now I'm satisfied with my result, and now I want to save the scene so I can use it later as a trigger. So on the top right, I press Save Scene, Color, Palette, and I've successfully created a scene with these matching colors with a few buttons. This new version 3 software will also be the foundation for our upcoming controller lineup. which are of course the C1 and power node. This means you will be ready to take advantage of all these latest software improvements as the controllers become available. This version 3 software update is the biggest leap forward since our first version. It offers great performance, a large pack of new features, and an easier and faster workflow for installators and mechanics. Upgrade today and experience the future of lighting control.